All right, good afternoon. Here we are again. Really pleased with our football team, and obviously we knew going into last week we were seeing a different challenge, offensively for the tempo which we were going to see against Bowling Green, and I was just really pleased with our football team, and we challenged them about coming out and playing a complete game. And their preparation, I thought we had our best week of practice, offensively, defensively, and in special teams unit. And to see that show up and our guys play at a high level was very encouraging to me. And I thought our defense, they came out and had the first series where they were able to move the ball a little bit. Once we got adjusted to that, we're able to hold them to a field goal, and then really capitalized on a lot of opportunities throughout the game. Having 4 takeaways, the offense was 100% ball security again, offense and special teams, and I thought we were able to dominate the game in all 3 phases. Our biggest focus, I love the attitude and the intensity of the team. We were able to play a lot of different guys. Got to get some in-game experience for many players on our football team. But I really love the attitude when the game was over and completed. Sitting in the locker room with the guys. I mean, just their passion to want to improve. Even though we played a really good game, and they need to be commended for that. Riley was the offensive player of the week in the conference. Defensively, was able to continue with their high level of play. But guys know we still have a lot of improvement that we need to do. One of the things within the game that was a little disappointing were the penalties. We had 9 penalties in the game, and that's something that we address as a staff, we address as a football team. We watch the film, we come in and we see where those errors were made and how we need to get that corrected, because we know with every challenge, with every week that goes by, if you have that many penalties, or you put yourself in a position to extend drives for an opposing offense, or to put yourself in a difficult situation, that's going to be it's going to be more of a challenge, as the competition level increases and as we get into conference play. But I really like this team. I like their attitude. I like the physicality which they're playing with. I think this we put ourselves in a position to get ready to take the next step, and the next step is here on Saturday. And people, I've been asked quite a bit about the meaning of this game and the importance of this game. This is a huge game, no question about it. It's a huge game because it's the next game. Last week was a huge game. The outcome of this game this week will not be the determining factor of our season. Win or tie or lose, or whatever the case would be, we know that we have to go out there and we have to continue and improve as a football team, but this is just the next step. This is the next game, the next focus, and I can tell you our guys are hungry. They're excited about the opportunity. We have to go on the road. We're going on the road into a hostile environment, something we've been preparing for. And so we're looking forward to the challenge. We know we're going to be playing an outstanding opponent, a very talented football team, and one that's playing a high level of ball, coming off a big win themselves. So we're excited about it. We know we got a lot of work to do this week, but I like this football team.
When you look at the Ole Miss video, what is the first thing that jumps out at you?
Seeing their personnel this year, I'm really impressed with offensively their skill positions. They got great length at the wide receiver position. The tight end, Ingram kid is a special talent. They do a lot of different things with him. Their quarterback, he's a guy that can make a lot of different throws. I think that you see, especially last week, using his legs to continue to extend plays. Had a long rushing touchdown. They're an offense that comes out and starts fast. They have a lot of different weapons that they like to utilize. They're big up front, and so for us, it's been able to find those matchups and be able to keep those guys contained as much as possible. But and then on the defensive side of the ball, I think you see their defensive front. They've got a lot of explosive players there. They have a good rotation. They've had a couple guys get banged up just a little bit, but their biggest thing is trying to play on the offensive side of the football. So you're going to see them attack in a variety of different ways. They've got great length, great speed. Defensively, that just the overall team speed will be one of the faster teams that we'll face this year. So we've got to do a great job of putting our guys in a position to be successful and be able to combat some of their athleticism.
If you had to rate, which one would you rate concerns you more, their ability to big play offense or their defensive end and have ability to get after the pass?
Well, we know those are challenges that you're going to face in each game. So I'm sure for Coach Ball, it's the offensive side of the ball. For Coach Long, and it's the defensive side of the ball. And so we know there's challenges. There was challenges last week. There's challenges every week that you play this game. And so for us, we're going to tie everything we do to our personnel. I love our personnel. I love the guys that we have playing the game, and we're going to put them in a position to be successful. We know, our guys. There's a lot of guys that are on this team that have played the opponent. That have played the opponent we were facing this week, and they've seen success. And the game last year that was played. Ole Miss jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and we had to battle back and continue to make plays, continue to focus on the little things, and put ourselves in position to be successful. But this is going to be a 60-minute game. It's going to be one that both sides of the ball are going to have success. Both sides of the ball are going to face challenges, and so it's about how you respond to the adversity that you face, and making sure that you're always staying focused on yourself and your fundamentals.
Speaking of 60-minute game, like you basically controlled the games that you've been in, and they've basically either been in it at the end or been out of it at the end. So nobody's really had to go down to the very wire and try to win a football game. How do you think that this team is ready to respond to that?
That's the way we train every day. We try to create an intensity and a focus in practice. Like every play is that last play. Every play is the one play that's going to be the deciding factor of or outcome within each game. And so our guys, you have to go through it and actually get the in-game experience. But I know that Coach Storms and our strength and conditioning staff have done a tremendous job in preparing our players. I love the energy our guys have. Our conditioning level has shown really well in our first three contests, and so we're expecting this game to be a battle, and we know it's going to be a physical battle. It's going to be a game that's going to have some momentum swings, and we just got to do our best to prepare for maximizing every one of those opportunities.
This is a great problem to have, but your team has had zero adversity. You've been ahead comfortably right from the get-go. Is that any kind of concern as to what it might be like to be behind?
Well, if you come out and watch practice, you've seen some adversity been put on our team. So, but it's not like playing in a game, and it's something that you have to challenge guys with. I like the mental makeup of our team. I think that they're ready to respond to when things might not go our way. There have been adverse situations within games that we've played up to this point. I challenge guys. I know just thinking about the second half of Saturday's game. There were some plays that were really disappointing. Whether it was with a starter or a backup, and we're going to coach every one of those moments. We're going to demand. We're trying to demand perfection on every play. So when we don't achieve that, we want to point out those corrections. We want guys to be able to get corrected and then focus on that next opportunity. So our guys, you have to go through and live it. There's no question. But for how they respond to every situation we can put them in, I love their mentality.
You're in a different situation this week, and you and your staff, this will be your first true road game, and like you said, going in a hostile environment. And I know you got to be looking forward to seeing how you yourself and your staff responds to what you're going to do.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about college football, because it's one of the toughest things to do is go and win on the road, and you see that for us as a football team, I want to prepare our guys for every situation, and we tried doing that in the spring. We went and played. We did a traveling scrimmage, over in Nashville, just to be in a different environment where we couldn't control what the atmosphere would be. We've been to Jackson. We've traveled as a team, but it's different than whenever you have 60,000 people that really don't like you a whole lot, and so we know that part of it. A lot is going to be based off our communication. We prepare that that way in practice each week, whether we're playing at home or on the road, of how to manage that, and you're trying to create that atmosphere as much as possible. But it's also what makes college football, so much fun, because just the ambiance of the stadium and the culture and just the traditions. It's going to be a special day, and I'm glad that we have this game and this opportunity to go and work to get better.
The offense is going to be a little bit of a work in progress here early. Do you think that the offense, I guess specifically in the first half, reached its potential? Is that kind of?
I think it showed some of the flashes of what it can be, and I thought last week. I know we talked after Tuesday's practice. I thought that was one of the best weeks that we had preparing. And when offense is about, you have to execute. And when you try to play fast and you try to push the tempo, it's not about how many plays you can get snapped. It's how many plays you can be efficient and execute at a fast pace. And so I thought we started to see that come together with 11 guys on the field, all moving in the right direction. I think you see the confidence in in our quarterback. I mean, he's a tremendous player. He can do a lot of great things. And as you get that third game under your belt, I thought he was really playing at a high level and in his decision-making process. That I thought our offensive line did a very nice job in protecting him and creating up some seams up front for the running game. And so it's a building process. And we have a lot of you look at our starting offensive line last week, and there was three sophomores, a true freshman, and a junior. And so they need that experience. They need that opportunity. We were able to play a couple different guys, and I like what I'm seeing. But it just takes time sometimes. For our guys to continue to build. And I thought we saw some flashes this last week.
As you look at the Ole Miss come from where you came out of the Pac-12, is there anybody that compares to what that you've seen, to what they look like and what they do?
I mean, every team's unique to itself. I mean, I think they have, defensively they have great team speed. You look at a team, kind of like a USC up front, where they, in just the manner of being able to have longer players that can attack and run. But every team's unique to itself. And offensively, they've got some really dynamic skill players. And we know that this challenge and this opportunity is going to be unique to itself. A lot of people talk about last year's game. I think that was in the past. There's going to be a whole lot of new faces on that field on both sides of the ball, and on both teams. And so it's about this week. It's about this one step, this one opportunity. I can tell you that our kids are going to prepare every single day just to be the best they've ever been. And I asked them to do the same thing last week, regardless of opponent. That's going to be our standard. That's going to be what we focus on. And I like our guys' approach.
A lot of people talk about Ole Miss having trouble running the ball over the past few years. What do you see out of that run game because the passing game is so limited?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see a team that is very capable of being able to run the football. I thought last week, you saw their quarterback really establish himself as a runner, which presents a whole nother group of challenges when you have to account for him and what he can do. But just like any week, I mean, they can throw the football as good as probably a lot of the top teams in the country, if not the top team in the country, throwing the football around. But you have to stop the run, and that's something that's going to be our focus. Every game is we got to try to keep them or force them to be a one-dimensional offense, and then everything will go from there. But that they've also shown that they're capable. If you're not gap sound, if you're not playing a physical style of football, then they can definitely hurt you in a variety of ways.
Speaking of that, you want to stop the run of their quarterback and run the football. You're missing DeMarco Murray for the first half this week, and you're bringing in a freshman to replace him. How do you have to get him ready for what he's going to see?
Well, I mean, it's no different of anybody that would possibly get injured, or it's next man up. And I was the penalty and the foul on DeMarco. I mean, it's unfortunate. Going back and watching it, it was something that was kind of, it wasn't a malicious blow in any sense of the quarterback kind of slipped down, and so but it is what it is, and we're not sitting here trying to gripe about a call that was made or any of that. It's the hand that's dealt. We got to be accountable to our actions, and now we're moving forward. And whether it's Bryce Huff, getting his first career start out there, as a true freshman, and I'm excited to see him play, because that young man, since the day he's been on campus, has been preparing for this opportunity. He's been preparing to come out and to help his football team be successful, and that's the true attitude of our team. It's not just one guy that's going to make anything go. It's collectively as a group. We all have to do our 1/11th when we're on the field as a unit, and for us to be successful. So if it's Bryce Huff, if it's whoever that has got to step up, it's their time to do it.
Mike, that's two straight games, I think, 100% ball security. You're ranked #2 national in turnover margin. Have you routinely experienced that kind of success at places you've been, and what is your staff done to kind of lead?
Yeah, I mean, it's a daily focus. That's the number one thing we talk about as an offense, is that we want to own the football. We want to if every drive ends with a kick, we've done a pretty good thing. Either we're kicking a field goal, kicking a PAT, or sometimes you have to punt it, and it's not always a bad thing to have to do, especially with our special teams units. And so we're really focused on that. We start every practice with it. Every day on defense, we work a tackling circuit and a takeaway circuit. And so I think you get what you emphasize. Our players are really starting to truly buy into that and how they're protecting the ball. And it all for us, it starts with our quarterback. And and is a real testament to Riley. After the first game, there's a couple balls that were kind of put into jeopardy, and he came up to me after the game and goes, "Coach, that'll never happen again." And I've seen that growth for 2 weeks. And everybody says that, but just like every area of our program, if you're going to say it, you need to say it with your actions. And that's the thing I'm most proud with him, is that he's you see the emphasis of the things that we're coaching and we're preaching. And and then on the flip side, defensively, you talk about getting takeaways, you talk about owning the ball on that phase. Every tip passed, just about every tip passed from the game the other day, our guys are in position and they capitalize on making the play. Because you'll see that happen a variety of different times throughout a game, and a dropped interception or a time that the ball's on the ground as a fumble, if you don't get it, I mean that's a huge play in the game, and our guys really have a sense of urgency, making sure we're capitalizing on those opportunities.
Have you heard or sensed just how big this game is to this fan base and community?
Oh yeah, I mean most definitely. I mean it's no secret that when you have two schools in a relative proximity that has a storied history, it's going to be a big game, and they're all big games. That was one of the greatest things about last week is we had a salute to the 901, and I walked through or when we came through the tunnel, and I looked up into the stands. I mean that's pretty incredible. We're playing an out-of-conference opponent that that didn't travel a big number, and you look in the stands, you see a sea of blue, you see an excitement and appreciation. That's what makes this place great. Is that this program, there's a responsibility that we have to represent them in a first-class manner, and to go over to have that performance last week, and it just continues to build off each other every game, every opportunity you have. And now we're playing a regional opponent that there is an experience with, there is a tradition with, and so we know we're excited about it. We're excited about the opportunity for this 2016 Tiger football team to go out there and compete at a high level. I think it's great. I think it's a tribute to all 11 guys that are out there with him on offense. I think Riley would be the first to tell you that. O-line did a tremendous job of protecting him. Receivers, running backs, did a great job of making plays around him. I know when you look at the stat line, I've never seen it before, where you have 11 different guys that score a touchdown. Now one of them was Jannard on the interception return for a touchdown, but 10 offensive players scored a touchdown. It's pretty terrific in a sense of being able to disperse the ball, and Riley going through his progressions and being able to put the ball where it needs to be, and then also utilizing himself as a runner was pretty impressive to watch. But I'm proud of him. And we came in this thing together. I told him the day that he signed, and that short period of time throughout the recruiting process. This is something that we're going through this track, and here together. And he had to come in and compete like everybody else. And Jason Stewart, David Moore, Brady Davis, all those guys are in there, and they all have each other's back in that quarterback room because we know that's the most important relationships that we have. And but I'm really proud of that quarterback position and Riley for the level that he's playing at, and looking for him to continue to get better to help put us in a position to win football games.
Mike, do we know, has that ever occurred before in history where 11 different guys have scored a touchdown in a single game?
Tammy might have to answer that question. I've been a little busy watching film rather than researching stats. So no, but I've never been a part of it, and I think it's just a great compliment to Coach Long and the coaching staff and the players that we have that we're not just keying in on one guy, and we're able to go through a progression. And when guys get the opportunity to get the ball in their hands, they know that they need to maximize it. So that was something that's pretty impressive to see.